This is music. This is my comfort zone. This is me. It's time for another Garage Geek challenge. Garage Geek has been challenging VC members over the last couple of weeks, and the entire idea is to just step out of your comfort zone for a little while, listen to some music that you would otherwise not even have considered listening to. The rules are very simple. He will pick an album you have to listen to twice a day for a week. In return, you get to pick an album he has to listen to twice a day for a week. Check out his channel, by the way, Garage Geek. It's a channel here on YouTube. It's a geek culture channel. He talks about collecting and reading comic books, for example, collecting and watching movies, a lot of B movies actually as well. Obviously collecting vinyl and listening to music, and also reading literature and collecting geek collectibles like Funko Pops and things like that. I think it's a channel with very, very diverse types of content, and it's fun, it's entertaining, it's informative as well. I enjoy his content, so check out Garage Geek. Now, the very, very first challenge he gave me was Linda Ronstadt, Dolly Parton, and Emmylou Harris's album Trio from 1987, and that's kind of a folky country music album. And in that video I made on that album, I said that I knew Dolly Parton and I had heard her music. I knew of Emmylou Harris, but I had never even heard about Linda Ronstadt. And that shocked and appalled a lot of people. They're like, how can you not know Linda Ronstadt? And here you have to remember, it's a geography thing. I grew up in a different country. We had our own pop stars and folk stars and rock stars and our own music that we would listen to. And it's also an age thing. I think I'm just a tad too young to kind of have been aware of Linda Ronstadt. And it's also a personal musical journey thing. I grew up in a blues, rock, classic rock, rock and roll household, and my own musical journey went in the direction of heavy metal music and extreme music and progressive rock and all that stuff. So I think I have some pretty good reasons not to have been familiar with Linda Ronstadt up until now. Now, fortunately, the challenge this week is actually a Linda Ronstadt album. So Garage Geek gave me I think it's from 1987 as well, the Canciones de mi Padre album she did, again from 1987. Now I know a thing or two now about Linda Ronstadt, not a whole lot, but I know that she's of German and Mexican descent. As far as I understand, her great-grandfather or something was a German who immigrated to Mexico and met a local lady there and started a family, and a couple of generations further down the line you have Linda Ronstadt. So she is of German and Mexican descent. And Canciones de mi Padre is an album she did to honor her Mexican roots. And so she sings in Spanish, in Mexican Spanish, although some of it sounds like some European Spanish, but what do I know? But she sings in Spanish, and the music is obviously my Mexican music tradition music. More specifically, it's mariachi music, and I know nothing about mariachi music. So this is really me being very, 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 very far away from my comfort zone. At least I have one leg far away from my comfort zone. I have the other leg is actually firmly planted in my comfort zone. So I'm doing a Van Damme split, basically. And I'll get to why this is the case. But yeah, I know nothing about mariachi music. The only exposure I've had to mariachi music is the kind of, let's just be blunt, the kind of racist depictions, representations we see in a lot of American movies and TV shows. And I don't think I can use that depiction in any shape or fashion to appreciate mariachi music. So I know nothing about mariachi music. So let's just talk about the music first. So the instrumentation, some guitars, acoustic guitars, I think an acoustic bass guitar in some of the songs. You got your horns, and you have some strings and some other instrumentation every now and then, but sort of the core instrumentation, guitars, acoustic bass, horns, and strings. And already here, I don't know if the sort of version of mariachi music that you hear on this album, I don't know if that is considered, like true mariachi music, or if it's like overproduced or polished mariachi music, or if it's fake mariachi music or Americanized. I don't know. I don't know if it's genuine or authentic or not. I do suspect that there's a lot of authenticity to it, but I have no idea. And it quickly dawned upon me that I might not be able to know how to like this music. I simply don't know enough about it. So I actually threw the towel in the ring here, music-wise, and I had to just come to terms with the fact that I don't think I have the knowledge or expertise or experience to really appreciate and assess this music. So I don't really know anything about mariachi music. I don't know if I like this music or not on this album, because I don't know enough about it. I don't feel comfortable judging it, you know what I mean? But I can say that there is a song called Rogasiano El Huapanguero, I think, where it's just the guitar and I think the acoustic bass guitar. No horns, no strings, nothing other than the bass guitar and the acoustic guitars, and then singing. And this is actually the song I liked the most. So maybe I prefer perhaps mariachi music with just the guitars and the bass guitar, but then I don't know if it even counts as mariachi music anymore. So as you can see, I'm way out of my comfort zone here. I noticed that not all of the songs, but a lot of the songs are kind of in a waltz kind of time signature, which I thought was interesting. And I also noticed that while some of it is actually kind of melancholic, other parts of it, in particular the horns part, they're kind of uplifting, and there's a sense of fun and partying to them. So that's kind of what I can make of the music, and I don't feel that I have enough expertise or knowledge to assess or appreciate the music part of it. So I will just throw in the towel and say I don't know if I like the music part of it, because I don't know how to like mariachi music. But I do have an inkling that perhaps I prefer, if it's even still mariachi music, without the horns, without the strings, just the guitars, maybe the acoustic bass, and then the vocals. So yeah, that's a bit of a cop out, but I hope it makes sense. So let's turn to the singing. So and this is where my foot is firmly planted the other foot is firmly planted in my comfort zone, because Linda Ronstadt, wow, what an amazing voice, what an amazing singer, such a powerful voice, yet expressive and emotive, just amazing. And it's also very cool to hear somebody sing in another language than English. Like I grew up listening to music sung in Danish or in English, and maybe a little bit of German Schlager music, because the only kind of foreign TV channels we could pick up way back in the day, in the early 80s, was German channels. So English language music, Danish language music, and a little bit of German language music. So it's always interesting to me to hear people sing in other languages than certainly English and Danish. So that's very interesting. But she just has an amazing voice. She hits some absolutely fantastic extended notes. I think it's in La Cigarra, I think it's called. She hits some very nice falsetto notes with some vibrato, and they're just extended notes. And she does that, and then she goes down a couple of notes into a more mid-range, and drops down into a lower mid-range, and just extended notes. I think it's in La Cigarra, I think it's called. And it just sounds fantastic. And just such a powerful voice, such a beautiful singing voice across the board, to the point that she has some dudes doing backup vocals, and I get it. It kind of adds some more layers, some more voice qualities. It's always interesting to hear different voices singing harmonies. But I have to be honest, I often ended up just thinking to myself, come on, shut up, let Linda sing. So the other, vocalists' voices became annoying every now and then. But yeah, singing-wise, such a powerful voice, and whether you like this music or not, whether you like Linda Ronstadt's singing or not, whether you like clean singing or not. There are some people that don't like clean singing. They prefer guttural and harsh singing. But whether you like all that stuff or not, I mean, I don't think there's any denying that this is, objectively speaking, just somebody who is an amazing singer. So yeah, this and the singing is this powerful voice, and I think the reason why it's straight in my comfort zone here is that I kind of, as I mentioned earlier, I kind of grew up listening to classic rock and then went into hard rock and heavy metal. And in rock and metal, you do have some singers with just powerful voices. You have Freddie Mercury, for example, from Queen. You have Ronnie James Dio, who had a fantastic voice. You have Rob Halford from Judas Priest, Bruce Dickinson, and Michael Kiske, right? All those singers that I grew up listening to, powerful voices. I think that's why Linda Ronstadt, when she really, sings really powerfully, that really resonates with me. I also like her when she goes like soft and, with the vibrato and emotive. Just an amazing singer. And I have to admit that, so the question is, of course, did I like this album? Musically, like I said, cop out, I don't know. I don't know how to like this music. That doesn't mean I don't like it. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with mariachi music. Just means I don't know how to like it. But yeah, the singing, fantastic, love it. But it also kind of makes me sad, because I learned that Linda Ronstadt has lost the ability to sing because of, I couldn't figure out whether it's because of Parkinson's or another neurodegenerative disease, but she can't sing anymore. And that's just incredibly sad that such an amazing voice has been taken from us. But at least we still have her recordings and so on and so forth. So I actually kind of, while I really enjoyed listening to the album, after I had made my research, I started feeling kind of sad whenever I listened to it. I like listening to the music first, and then after a couple of listens, I like to do my research. So it kind of made me sad, to be perfectly honest, that such an amazing voice has been taken from us. But yeah, again, the music, I don't know if I like it. It's a cop out, but I don't know how to assess it. But the singing is just fantastic, no doubt about that. When I buy this album, I maybe if I ever learn how to appreciate mariachi music, maybe I'll buy it. But this album has made me interested because some of my viewers told me that Linda Ronstadt she's done some rock releases, she's done some pop music, I think she's done some jazz light, I think, as well. So I'm actually really interested to maybe explore her rock output first, and then maybe some of her poppy stuff. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna buy it, but I will probably listen to more Linda Ronstadt, some of the other musical genres that she has contributed to. So that was my take on Canciones de mi Padre by Linda Ronstadt. Fantastic singer. There's no doubt about that. What a singing voice. So make sure to keep an eye on Garage Geek's channel. I will not spoil for you which challenge I gave him, but this was my take on Linda Ronstadt's, I think, 1987 album Canciones de mi Padre. Thanks for watching.